Champions will be crowned tonight on Friday Night Football Fever. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Pete Byrne.
And I'm Bennett Wise. After 7 weeks, Pete, the top teams in Northern Indiana have separated themselves from the pack. Some have 2-week sprints to the finish, while others can determine the title races tonight. That's
right. In the NIC, both Penn and New Prairie have made it this far unscathed in league play. They're both 3-0 in conference with 2 weeks to go.
And the two league powers, both 6-1 overall, meeting at Miller Field tonight, where the winner clinches at least a share of the conference title. Penn won the league last year. It was New Prairie's only loss until the state finals. A scoreless battle late in the first quarter until Jake Bayless from the 22-yard line spins out of the tackle and takes it in for 6 points. Now Corey Yeoman and the Kingsmen being aggressive early on. Penn going for 2, and Nolan McCullough this time takes a shot as he reaches across. It's 8-0 Penn into the second quarter. Kingsmen working a long drive before halftime. 35 seconds to go. McCullough on the move, has Elijah Coker cutting for the 13-yard score. Penn goes on to win 22-0. They clinch a share of the NIC title, and they can dance their way to an outright championship with a win over Adams next week.
All right, congrats to the Kingsmen. Meanwhile, Elkhart looking for its 3rd win in a row. The Lions invading Otulski Field tonight, but the Marion Knights have other ideas. First play, they pitch it to Chase Bays, and he's going to throw. Marion's got a man open. That's William Owens, and look at Owens take off for a huge gain down inside the red zone, but he's stripped at the end of the play.
Oh, no.
Dominic Iacco recovers for Elkhart, and now it's the Lions who take over, and they have a chance to draw first blood. Chase Broussard looking to pass. Picked off by Marion's Michael Prisgata. A wild start to this football game, and it's about to get even crazier. Marion's Bryce Lassane throws to Leo Sete, barely hangs onto it, and then goes 69 yards for the score. That's a finalist for the highlight of the night. Sete and the Knights beat Elkhart this evening 27-14.
That was like a casual tip drill touchdown.
Yeah, really good.
Non-conference matchup tonight at Bill Sharp Stadium as Jimtown welcomes South Bend Adams. It's all Jimmies in the third, and their defense would be an issue all night. They get the stop on 4th down. That's Gabe Glass with the tackle, and still in the fourth quarter. Check out the hands for Adams, the big fella. Christian Bryce on the board for Adams with a pick 6, and it is a 44-6 ball game. But on the PAT, it is a diving block. Ty Zartman with the block at PAT, and Jimtown rolls 44-6.
Back in South Bend, St. Joe's stepping outside of league play tonight, hosting Culver Academy. St. Joe would strike on its opening drive. This is Franco Biffle who gets the call. Bounces to the outside. He can't quite make it to the pylon, but Biffle's going to be pushed out at about the 1-yard line, and that sets up 1st and goal for St. Joe. A couple of plays later, Biffle's going to get a chance to finish what he started, takes it into the end zone standing up. The extra point was no good, so St. Joe led it 6-0. And it would stay a 6-point game until late in the first half, but that's when Alex Ortiz hits Buddy Hurley on the slant for the touchdown. St. Joe takes a 13-0 lead into the half, and they hang on to win it 20-6. St. Joe snaps a 3-game losing streak. They got rival Marion next Friday. All right, so Penn has a share of the NIC crown in the large division. Meanwhile, in the small division, Bennett, Riley can clinch a share of its first NIC title since the 60s.
It's a long time. The Cats suffered their first loss of the year last week, but they are still 3-0 in conference right now.
Yeah, tonight they host Breman, where a win would lock up at least a tie heading into next week's finale against second place Jimtown. So let's head to Jackson Field on the south side, where Riley took the lead early. They were threatening to add to it here in the second quarter. Already up 8-3, Dominic Jolly finally taken down inside the red zone, but Riley would turn it over on down, so Breman takes over down by 5, and they would march the length of the field. Silas Leidig airs it out. Reese Green has it down the sideline for a huge gain, and a few plays later, Leidig's going to go deep again. This time, Tyus Graverson hangs on, breaks a tackle, and takes it in for the touchdown in a 9-8 Breman lead. But Riley would dominate from there. Cats win it 22-9 tonight. Congratulations, they win their first NIC title since 1965. Elsewhere in the NIC, it was South Bend Washington falling on the road 51-6. South Bend Clay wins in homecoming, as we showed you earlier, 19-16 over Glenn's JV. Glenn's varsity will be home tomorrow night against Tippy Valley.
And a big game in the Three Rivers Conference. 5-2 Rochester visiting 4-3 Southwood. The Zebras trying to stay in the conference title hunt. First quarter, Brant Beck takes the handoff, stretches to the outside and goes up the sideline to set Rochester up in the go zone. And shortly after, Beck on the sweep around gets to the corner and scores to make it 7-0 Zebras. We'll go to the second, and Rochester sharing the ball all the way around. It's Alex Deming from 5 yards out for the touchdown as Rochester rolls 41-0.
Good stuff. All right, we got to take a quick break, but there's still lots more ahead tonight on Friday Night Football Fever. There's 2 weeks to go, as we've established. There are 3 teams still tied for the lead in the Northern Lakes. We'll update you on that. Plus, rivals square off in the annual War by the Shore. Can Lakeshore move a step closer to a conference title, or will St. Joe knock them off? We've got the answer when Friday Night Football Fever returns. Welcome back to Friday Night Football Fever. Bennett, with 2 weeks ago, there's a 3-way tie for first place in the Northern Lakes, and I think people probably expected that Mishawaka and Warsaw would be in the discussion. They typically are, but Northridge is here too at 4-1.
Yeah, the Raiders got everybody's attention when they beat Northwood a few weeks back. Now they're also getting healthy at the right time as they're trying to win just their second ever NLC title.
That's right. 2 more wins will give them at least a share. Tonight, step number 1, the Raiders at home hosting Plymouth, looking to move to final week of the year with a chance. And in the first quarter, well, they make a statement. This is McLean Miller, our high school spotlight winner for this week. He's going to be playing football in North Dakota State next year, and that's what the Bison have coming to him. 51 yards, and that's a finalist for the highlight of the night. Northridge up 7-0. Plymouth knows they're going to need to put up points to hang with the Raiders. Xander Ramirez looking deep, but Bradley Borsatti is going to pick it off, and not just that, he's going to return this way back out close to midfield, and once again, the Raiders are in business. They would cash in a few plays later as Brady Scholl throws to Ashley Ritchie for a touchdown. Northridge wins it 42-14. Raiders now 5-1 in the NLC.
Warsaw also part of that first place tie as the Tigers visiting Goshen tonight. Halfway through the second quarter, the offense going to work. Reed Zollinger up the gut, 30 yards for the Warsaw touchdown to make it 35-0. Warsaw wins 42-7. The Tigers also now 5-1 in the league. They'll face Northridge next Friday.
What a game that'll be. Finally, Mishawaka 4-1 in the Northern Lakes Conference. The Cavemen looking to keep pace in the league as they host Concord tonight at Steel Stadium, and they would strike first on their home turf. On the opening drive, Ethan Bryce gets loose around the end, and he's going to go a long way. Got blockers, and he's finally going to get caught from behind, but not before picking up 52 yards, and the Cavemen are in business. On the very next play, they give it to Novell Miller. The junior's got the edge, and now he's got the touchdown. Into the end zone, Mishawaka leads 7-0. Concord would answer on its next series. Jerron Thomas, you see him in the backfield there, gets the call, hits the hole, stays on his feet, and goes 56 yards. That's a finalist for the highlight of the night. Concord ties it up, but Mishawaka shuts them down from that point on to win it 31-7. The Cavemen head to Week 9, also 5-1 in the league. Other scores in Indiana: Northwood gets a win over Wawasee 38-21. Lakeland beats Fairfield 33-7, and LaVille edges North Judson 23-20.
Winnemac 28-22 over Caston. Pioneer getting the best of Culver 46-8, and Knox 42-7 over Triton to earn a share of the Hoosier North Conference Championship.
Now, as we move to Michigan, there are still 3 weeks of play in the regular season, but much like tonight in Indiana, lots of conference races impacted by critical games. And we have to start with Edwardsburg, where over the last decade, they have been the class of Southwest Michigan. They have won 6 straight Wolverine Conference titles, Bennett.
Yeah, but last week the Eddies fell to Paw Paw, their first league loss in 39 tries, and that opens the door for Niles. We got to see if the Vikings can take advantage of that and walk through, and also looking for a little bit of payback. Edwardsburg beat the Vikings last year by 7 in the playoffs, and this veteran Niles squad took that personally. Paul Hess powering the offense in gear, sheds the tackle before getting shoved out of bounds for a gain of 25. Now just 2 plays later on the option, quarterback Talon Brawley pulls it away from the pile, scampers home for the Niles touchdown to make it 7-0. I like how they have the names on the back like that. Nice and big too. You can see it from a mile away. Now we look at the Flexbone offense. It's the pass this time though. That is quarterback Talon Brawley hitting Brendan Olson, backing his way into the end zone as Niles cruises 49-0. The Vikings clinch a spot in the playoffs, and they will play for the conference title in 2 weeks against Pawpaw.
That will be fun. Now, one of the best rivalries in our area is the War by the Shore. Lakeshore tied for first in the conference, but a tough test awaits tonight as they visit rival St. Joe. And let me tell you, folks, the Bears are up to the challenge tonight. They open up the game with a long drive in their first series. Andrew Barlow caps it up with a short touchdown run. St. Joe leads 7-0 after one quarter. Barlow would score again in the second quarter to make it a 14-0 game as St. Joe wins 35-0 tonight as the Bears take down Lakeshore in the War by the Shore.
About one more big conference game. Lakeland Conference leader Berrien Springs visiting second place Dowagiac. Second half, the Shamrocks up 14-6 and building on it. This is Andrew Gonzalez shooting up the middle for a 15-yard touchdown. Berrien Springs takes a 2-score lead into the fourth quarter and finish it off 28-6. The Shamrocks in the driver's seat at 3-0 in the Lakeland Conference.
And we have more scores from games in Michigan tonight. You can see on WSBT.com.
I'm Pete Byrne for WSBT 22 News. For more local high school sports stories, like and subscribe to the WSBT 22 YouTube page. Thanks for watching.